refuse. I know. I get ready. I put up the shutters. I buy dry stock. I do the norm like every human being do when a cyclone is coming.
Preparation.
Yeah, I prepare. It's not like I just sit down and not prepare. No, I do. But in my heart, I refuse to accept the cyclone. I refuse. Deadly. I just refuse. Because I believe about 2 times now we were out of the country. One time we were in New Zealand, which was last year. And the other year we were in Israel. And they were, telling us, okay, the cyclone is coming. But in my heart, I refuse. I was standing at the Wailing Wall, and I was saying, God, I refuse to accept it. Yes, we will prepare. But I don't want that cyclone. I refuse. And the same I did for this time. And I prepare, like I said, shutters up. You come to Lodal, you see all the shutters up, barricades, whatever that you can call them, and buying of dry stuff. I did all that. But in my heart, I refused. And I was telling my family, and in the exco, I actually posted, and I believe you've read it. I said, I just said that prayer, and I said, Lord, with all things that needs to be done for my TV, the transmitter out there, and all the things that needs to be done, the properties, the truck, the boat, that is out there in the sea, with everything that I need to prepare logistically to prepare for this cyclone, I don't have the energy, and I just don't have it. And on that note, please just take away this cyclone. Don't ever allow this cyclone to come where I am, because it's just going to increase the amount of work that I need to do. And that I don't have the energy, and I don't also have the time to do. And it's always been my stand every time. Whenever I hear the cyclone coming, I refuse. My family know. He is a very good tracker of the cyclone, and my son is a very good tracker as well. And they're always posting, I refuse to read it. I refuse to read it. And I don't want to even read it. I know it's coming, but I don't want it coming. It sounds silly, but that's who I am. When I hear it, I know it's coming. They talk about the tracking, they picture the tracking, they post the pictures of the tracking. I'm not even ready. I'm preparing, but in my heart, I just refuse. I refuse to accept that cyclone to come by. And on that eve, I think that was on Thursday, we usually have our devotion at 7. But by 6 o'clock, I think by 5:30, I'm calling my family. Come, we're going to pray. We just sat down that night. We didn't even have any word. All we were just doing was praying. Just praying for family that are affected. Praying for family that are out there in the cold. Praying for family that are actually holding hands on the last piece of timber that they can hold on. Or praying for family that are underneath the floor of their home with everything blown up. We were just praying and praying and praying for those family. And there's only much we can do. And that's why we want to share about this Jesus with you. Like what I said, you may not believe in Jesus, but I do. We do. And you may say, there is no God, but we want to tell you there is a God. And you may say to yourself, okay, I've got all this richness. I have these tall buildings. I have my businesses. I'm good. I don't need this God that you're talking about. But I will want to tell you, you will need this God. The very thing that you build up in structures, the very thing that you build up at the back, the very thing that you push up all your balances in the bank account, all it takes only one cyclone to take it all out. And it takes only the natural disaster that God can allow indirectly to tell you, look, I am God, and there is a God. And in Psalms 46:10, it says, be still and know that I am God. I shall be exalted among the nations, and I shall be exalted amongst the earth. And He is God. Regardless of what you think that there is no God, I will stand in your face and I'll always tell you, regardless of whatever you're going through, He is a regardless God. He is God. And you need to believe that He is God. So to those of you who believe in God, to those of you who trust in God, if you're affected by the cyclone, like in the villages that we mentioned earlier, in the Lao group, we came doon na vakarongo tiko may Lao, and the vakarongo tiko may na program na mataka ni ko, na boni libi libi the vakarongo tiko may kina, kira via baungi tiko mani ani ba daba na kinda na numa. Kaya ko maniti ko na ni ano, na nongo koro may wadi wadi kito da kapichika na soli. Ela kapichika na soli na koro nongo vas may wadi wadi. Kaya tiko na koro ni tinago, na koro ni nongo vas sa climate change. Sa luwi tiko sa it's sinking. And we are raising money to have a digger to salvage my village, my mom's village. There are a lot of things that are happening because of the climate change. But who created the face of the earth? Who spoke and everything came to be? Who does that? That's the God that you serve. There are certain things that you're reading and it's there right in your face, but there are certain things that you need to believe that this God can restore, this God can do exceedingly the things that you cannot even fathom. So, nabuno tama ki warro ito kumikina na sani korro bili ni korro beka may law na loma ni hall sar kumikina na mataka ni ko ba kampo tama na kalo. Iko na reda na kay korro sa sinibibambo na kalo. Yung mataka ni ko kerbe kay. Wambo ti ko atalman.